guys, so today we're learning about the Japanese carp, and there's a legend about the Japanese carp where they are very, well, they're also called koi fish, where they swim upstream and they persevere over all their obstacles. So they're very well renowned in the Japanese and the Chinese culture. There's a whole background to that, and I've got a video for you guys to watch about that. So we're going to be drawing some Japanese koi fish, and then we're going to paint them. So this is the rice paper that I gave you, and we're going to fold it into fourths. So we're going to take our paper, we're going to fold it first long ways, and then we're going to fold it again halfway. And this is just going to give us a way to kind of judge that we're doing it the right size. So that way we can kind of use those marks to see where we're at. Now I'm going to use a permanent pen because we're going to use some watercolors over the top, and ignore my dog in the background acting crazy. So we're going to draw with the permanent pen, a Uniball. Now you guys can use a Sharpie, or you can use just a regular pencil if you don't have a marker with you. I did not put one in the kit, and I should have, but I'll send you one with the next box, so you'll always have one. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to draw one going this way. So we're gonna draw kind of like a tear shape. So we're gonna go like this, and it's like they're in the water. So one's gonna go this way. It kind of looks like the yin and the yang that you see sometimes. So we're gonna make this shape like this. And then we're gonna add their little tail. So their tail kind of comes like this on this side, and this on this side. And then we're gonna go down here, and we're gonna make this one's tail. You can make their tails even fancier if you want to. All right, so there's their basic body. Now we're gonna draw the little fins that go beside them, and I'm gonna make these really fancy just because I like to. If you've ever seen these really fancy koi fish, they're beautiful, and they come in all different colors. And actually, the different colors symbolize different things. So there we've got their basic body. Now we're gonna make the little fin that goes down the back of their body. So we're gonna kind of make that come down this way. We're gonna make one that kind of curves and just has wiggly lines this way. Now remember, if I'm going too fast, you can always push pause, okay? Now we're gonna make the top part of their head. So I'm gonna do it real lightly on this end, and then real lightly on this end. Now I'm using a piece of foam core board underneath my paper because this is so thin. Remember that you need to protect your table, okay? Now then I'm gonna make his little eyeballs. So put the eyeballs on each side of the head, like that, and then his little mouth. So they have like little kissy lips, little fishy lips. So this side on this side, like that. All right, now the thing about these koi fish is they have these beautiful patterns on them, and none of them are the same. It's kind of like a fingerprint. So I'm gonna make some spots on my koi fish to fill in, like that. And on this one, I'm gonna give this little guy some spots to color in. And I think I'm gonna make him some little lines on his tail just to add interest. Like that. And then little fins that come up like that. Now, of course, when the fish are swimming around, sometimes they make bubbles, so you can add some bubbles if you'd like. Okay, now I think I'm going to draw some lily pads that are kind of floating around. This is going to be like they're in a pond. So I'm gonna make like just a few little rocks maybe. Like they're inside of the pond swimming around. Okay, so voila, there's the little fish, the koi fish. And in just a minute, I'm going to show you how to paint it. Okay, now for this part of the project, we are going to need some salt. So just get your salt shaker from your house. And you need some water, just some water, a cup of water. Preferably, if you've got a throwaway cup, that would be great. And then you're gonna use your paints again and the paintbrush. So, where'd my paintbrush go? There it is. It's hiding underneath there. All right. Okay, so some of the goldfish or koi have a lot of like a red color, and some of them have an orangey color, and some of them have more of a yellow color. So really, you can pick. One of them even has like a bluish color. So really, you could paint your koi any color you wanted to. I think I'm gonna paint mine starting out with this orange. So you're gonna add, I'm gonna move my brush over to the same side as my paint. I'm trying to reach around this tripod here. So I'm gonna add some orange. And I'm gonna fill in my goldfish in this part. Now you might want your goldfish or your koi to be red and black, that would be fine. Or yellow and black, or yellow and orange and black. You can paint yours any color you want to. Remember, I told you, you gotta be real careful underneath. You don't want to get it on the table because this paper is really thin, this rice paper. This is the paper that I gave you in your kit. If you've already used up your paper that was in the kit, you can just use copy paper to do this. If you don't have any watercolor paper, that's okay. Just if your mom or dad can get you just some copy paper, like you would use in a printer at home, you can use that. It's also thin, but it'll work. Of course, if you've got watercolor paper, that'd be great too. Pins orange. Now I think for the top part of my fish, I'm going to use a little bit of yellow, and I'm going to put some yellow in the top part of my tray. And then we'll get just a little bit of the orange and mix it in there just to make a little bit different color. And that's what I'm gonna color or paint the top of its head. And to add some more yellow. Its little fishy mouth there. Fill it in. A little bit of orange along the edge there. just for some interest. Okay, now remember I'm going to do my darkest color on the fish last. So I'm going to go over here and do the same thing. Since I've already got some of this yellowy orange color on this side, I'm going to go ahead while that's still wet, and I'm going to fill that in before that dries. Paint over his little lips. Fill all that in. Go back and get some more orange. And do the same thing. We'll fill in the lines of my fish. Now remember, you can paint yours, they don't have to both match. You can paint them different colors if you want to. I just like for mine to kind of match. But you can have different kinds of fish in a tank together. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to go around his little spot. Plenty of water on your brush. I think I'm gonna go back with this lighter color. I'm gonna do the top fin that color. What you can do is go back and just put a little bit of highlights in there if you want to. And a little bit more. I'm gonna make this one's little pins on the side just a little bit lighter. Okay, so there's the part of those guys. Now I'm going to use my black, and I'm going to fill in the little spots with the black. Now, you gotta be real careful because some of it's gonna bleed. So you can even wait for your orange to dry if you want to before you add the black, or you can just kind of let it happen and see what it ends up looking like. It kind of looks cool, really, because sometimes their spots kind of bleed like that and they kind of go into each other and make some really cool designs. So that's up to you too. So you see where I overlap this orange, how it kind of is bleeding? You may want it to do that. It kind of looks more realistic. I kind of like that, how that looks. It's pretty cool. So yeah, see how it's kind of bleeding right there? That's kind of neat looking. Kind of like that. Now you'll notice I didn't really rinse my brush out a whole lot between the orange and the black because the black is so much darker than the orange. I knew that the black would cover it up, so I didn't really have to rinse my brush a whole lot between those. But when I switch from black to another color, I'm gonna have to really rinse it out. So see how I'm not really having to stay exactly in the lines. I'm kind of going out of the lines a little bit. And see how it's bleeding? That looks pretty cool. I'll go right here. Fill this in. Okay, and then I'm gonna paint in his little eyes. Pablo, don't do that. Okay, we'll go back and fill in this guy. Like I said, if you make a little mislick or something and it kind of goes out of the line and into your orange a little bit, it's okay. Because sometimes the colors bleed. It makes it look really neat, I think. Just make sure you have enough water. This one's going out black. This part just a little bit. Now look, this one really bled a lot, so I'm going to kind of try to straighten him up just a little bit. I think that looks cool. I'm going to kind of round it off just a little bit. I like the way it bled just a little bit right there, but I don't want it to be too crazy looking. Okay, now I'm gonna rinse this out really, really well. I'm gonna paint my lily pads. So I'm gonna just kind of paint them the green. Remember, I've got this underneath here, so it's okay if I go over a little bit. I'm not going to get it on the table. It's being protected by this board underneath. I'm going to put a little bit of a there's my other lily pad. Okay. Now this next part is a rock. So I'm gonna mix a lot of water in with this black. Actually so much that I don't even hardly have any on there. I'm gonna kind of supposed to kind of like a pebble in the water. And if you don't want pebbles in the water, you don't have to paint them. But if you wanted to put little flowers floating on the water, you could do that. Or if you wanted to put like a little dragonfly or something flying around. For my older kids, that would be something really cute. If you'd like to embellish your picture a little bit more, that would be something really cool. With you older guys, that's what I'd really like to see you do is take the ideas that I give you and then just expand on them. All right, now, next thing we're gonna do is get some blue. Okay, now we're gonna make the blue kind of go around the fish like they're swimming. So we're gonna kind of make it like they're cutting through the water. It's going to go right over the rocks and stuff. And kind of go around the bubbles and leave a white spot. Now the thing with watercolor is you can go back over it later with different layers, and the part that you want to look darker, you can add more paint. And then the part that you want to look lighter, we'll just add more water. So I'm just gonna leave that like there. But yeah, it's like your fishes are swimming through the water. It's like a current. I don't know if you guys have ever seen real koi swimming through the water, but they're beautiful, and a lot of times they bring good luck. They say they're supposed to be like a good luck charm for a lot of people. But when you go to some really nice ponds and some gardens and things, a lot of times people will have a koi pond, and they're beautiful. If you want to paint some little swirls, you can do that. Just to kind of experiment with what you want it to look like. So just make the water kind of come through. Now, you might have wondered what we're going to do with this salt. As you see now, I'm just going over this blue that I painted a second ago just with water. I'm going to take a little section at a time, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put salt on the top. And this salt is going to absorb some of this water. And it's going to give it like a spotted kind of effect, a speckle effect. It's going to make it look more like water. But you're going to keep going over it and add some salt. Now there's different kinds of, there's wet on wet, there's wet on dry. We've been doing wet on dry. But when you do wet on wet, the paper's already wet, and when you drop the paint on it, it really soaks in. Now you're gonna have to be careful because you guys are using this rice paper and it's very, very thin. Now next month we're gonna be using some watercolor paper, and you can do a little bit more with it because it kind of is thicker and you can get away with more water being on it. Put a little bit more streaks in here, and then we'll go back with the water. And fill it in. Then I'm gonna put some over it, and you can see it bleed. See how it bleeds a little bit more when it's wet on wet? We'll add some more salt in. And see where you've got the watercolors, it kind of looks like light reflecting. So that's cool. Then if you want it to be darker, then you just go in there and add some darker. Mix the lighter, and we'll put some salt on top of that. You have to add the salt while it's still wet for it to work. Alright, I'm going to move my paint over to this side for just a minute, just because it'll be easier. Just got me reaching around. So the more water you're going to use, you can see how it's bleeding. When you go back in with another layer, it's going to get darker. almost finished. All right, now there you go. There's your koi fish. Now, once it dries, it's gonna have little spots and stuff, and I'll take a picture of that for you, and you guys will see what it's gonna look like. Let's give this up just a smidge. You guys can see it there. There you go. All right, well there are your koi fish for today, and I hope you guys had a good time, and I hope you all will join me again soon. I will see you guys next week. We're going to be doing, we're going to be learning about an artist whose name is Matisse. So I think you're going to really like it. His work is very colorful, and I think you're going to really, really enjoy what we've got going on next time. So we'll see you guys soon. Bye.